Hello! Time to learn about the discriminant. So, last time we learned that x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. All of that over 2a. Many high school songs, chants, and memorization techniques are deployed to memorize this thing, but if you just chant it to yourself for about 5 minutes straight, you will probably remember it long enough for your next test. It's not really that hard to memorize. If you write it down enough times, it's gonna be cake. So the discriminant. What is the discriminant? The discriminant, and I'll spell that for you, discriminant, is basically, in the quadratic equation, it's the value under the radical. And this radical tells us about the nature of the roots of the equation that we're solving at all. Even if we don't solve the equation, we can tell where the roots are generally going to be or what they're going to look like just by looking at this discriminant part, b squared minus 4ac. So there are a couple cases what happens when you plug in this discriminant. Case 1 is that the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is, and this is unlikely usually, a positive perfect square. What happens here? Well, what happens here is that these roots are going to be unequal rational numbers. So they're not going to have any radicals in it, which is good. So here there's going to be rational numbers, and they're going to be unequal, which means that you're not going to have a double root. And of course there's going to be, if they're unequal, we're already assuming that there's two roots. So that's the first case, and a famous case would be, I don't know, I can't even think of one. Let's go with one in your textbook. Textbook says 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. The discriminant is going to be a positive perfect square. So what do they mean by that? Let's plug this in. Let's actually prove that that discriminant portion. So we know that a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to negative 2. But the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Alright? So plugging that in, we get 9 minus 4 times negative 4. 9 plus 16, 25 is our discriminant. This is a positive perfect square, so it falls under case 1, and the roots of this are indeed negative 2 and 1/2, which is they're unequal and they're rational numbers. So the discriminant works out in this case. They'll always work out. Then you have case 2. Case 2 says that if the discriminant b squared minus 4ac happens to be, oh my goodness, that scared me, is 0, then there's going to be only one root. And this root is usually called a double root. We could also say that there are two roots that are equal, but there's only one x-intercept. That's what one root means. I mean, there's not really one root, but yeah. So, alright. And it's rational. It's rational. So the graph 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. You can all put this in your calculator to prove that it's rational. One double root. So let's plug the discriminants in here. B squared minus 4ac. So b squared is, well, I don't know, 36 minus 4 times 9. 36 minus 36 is 0. So indeed, the discriminant is indeed 0. So if you graph that, you're going to find that there's only one double root. It's only going to hit that, it's going to just hit that x. So it's going to look something like this, rather. Let me just show you. It's going to look something like this. It's going to hit it once and then just bounce back up. That is basically what that case is saying. So the discriminant's cool. We don't even need to solve anything. We can just plug in the discriminant and we can tell, hey, this is going to have one root, this is going to have two roots, whatever. And we have, oh, I forgot case 2 in your textbook, but I'll just make it case 3. The discriminant is positive number, not perfect square. This is the same thing as our first case, except that the roots will be irrational. So they won't be clean and cut roots, like exactly 2 or 1/2. It's going to be irrational, but there are going to be 2 roots. Alright, so boop. And there is that fourth case, which nobody talks about. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about it a lot, actually. Case number 4, b squared minus 4ac is, what'd you guess? Negative. This means that there are no real roots. No real roots. That's what I'm saying. Real roots. But there are imaginary roots for this, which we're going to get into, of course. That's going to be the number I. But the number of x-intercepts here. Number of x-intercepts is indeed 0. Oh my god, stop doing that. 0. That's the discriminants. And oh my god, stop doing that. I am going to show you how to find those imaginary roots with the next video.